a lot of the stuff that I post on YouTube is just like stream of consciousness speaking. Like, I'll kind of just like get on camera, not plan ahead of time, not script or anything like that, which makes my post-production process a little bit difficult because you have to stitch together a narrative when there was no real narrative formed beforehand. But I found a methodology that I really wanted to share with you guys. Okay, so one of the first steps, so like my first step of a video, always ever, is just an initial AV cut, where I'm just like putting any footage that's worth using, I'm basically just like throwing it onto a timeline and like cutting out the gaps and stuff like that. After that, I'm exporting the transcript for it. Premiere has a built-in feature that reads your footage for you and exports a text file of your transcript for you, which is amazing. I didn't know that Premiere had that before, and it's been like a lifesaver of a feature. So after downloading the transcript, dude, I'll actually go on Gemini and have Gemini read the transcript for me, okay? And I'll ask Gemini, like, okay, can you break this down? Like, I want to form a narrative out of this transcript. Like, tell me what you're seeing. After you feed that transcript into Gemini, it's gonna pop out, like, some sort of structure. Gemini's AI, it's built to, like, function on things like patterns and systems and things of that nature. So there's going to be some sort of structure that it's going to be able to pull out of any transcript that you're working with, even if it's the most stream of consciousness talk of your life, okay? Now, based off of that very initial narrative structure that Gemini has given me, it makes those like story components, those like story elements start to pop out a little more clearly to me. There will be a number of different like narrative sections or like narrative dividers that will be made clear to me through Gemini. Based off of that like initial narrative formula, I suppose, then I'm kind of like going back to my own like creative zone. And what I'm doing is, this is where the world building comes in, okay? Okay, so what is the world build? What is the world build? Okay, so after Gemini gives you those narrative points, then you can have fun in like world building around your footage, okay? Now, what does that mean? What is world building? What would I be doing? I'm about to explain that all to you, okay? So basically what you would be world building, or I guess creating creative around, would be you're using raw footage, right? Your vlog footage. Your world build would be stuff that you are adding on screen to help people understand your narrative, right? That Gemini just pulled out for you, right? Stuff that you're adding on screen to help guide people through that narrative. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna give you an example of what world building could look like using just like raw vlog footage, okay? So I right now am editing footage where I'm talking about a problem that I'm going through in life, okay? That problem is burnout at work, okay? Like severe burnout from work, okay? When I'm presenting that narrative to my audience, okay? Instead of just like making that text indication on screen, burnout at work, I'm not just presenting that as a problem that I'm going through. I'm presenting that as a diagnosis, okay? As a diagnosis of systemic fatigue, okay? Systemic fatigue. Now I have anti-capitalist messaging, now I have radical leftist messaging, now I have socialist messaging integrated into my narrative, you know? These are audiences that I want to be hitting. I've turned my issue into a collectively shared issue. I've turned my issue into something that a much broader audience can relate to and resonate with. I've turned a micro issue that one person is experiencing into a system-wide issue that is affecting humanity globally, okay? That's another huge perk of world building, is that like you make it bigger than yourself, right? Another example for this same video idea that I'm working on is that like after I'm talking about like this burnout at work that I'm experiencing, I'm not just going through ideas to help through burnout, okay? I'm physically creating doctor's notes, okay? Out of like literally grid paper, literally a sheet of grid paper that I cut up and ripped out, okay? I'm creating doctor's notes, doctor's orders on each one, okay? To help guide the narrative through each idea that I'm going through, okay? After I create those doctor's notes, I'm scanning those, okay, from my printer. I'm throwing them into Photoshop, and then I'm creating motion graphic overlays out of them to place on top of my footage, okay? That concept guides the world build around what started off as just a vlog, you know? This is no longer just a vlog. This is now Silver's lab. This is now Silver's lab. And I'm not just a YouTuber. Now I'm a scientist. I'm somebody that's studying the human psyche. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go. Deuces!